Tomorrow is Passover, the day commemorating the exodus of Jews held as slaves in Egypt. Sadly, these many centuries later, the Middle East seems as conflicted as ever, with death, famine, and tragedy once again common occurrences. But in the spirit of the holiday, thoughts this morning from humorist Alex Edelman.
One of the cruelest things about the Passover Seder is that it opens with the sentence, "Let all who are hungry come and eat." But a Seder is not a meal, it's a regimen. The meal's a component of it, but it's a later component of it. Seders have 15 phases. The meal is phase 11. The opening line should be, "Let all who are hungry wait a hot sec." Imagine if 3/4 of the way through Harry Potter, the kid hadn't even gotten to magic school yet. That's what we're dealing with. Jesus' Last Supper was a Seder, which I get, because by the end of Seder, I too am willing to die for the sins of all mankind. And there are a bunch of really unpleasant little starters at a Seder. Amuse-bouches if none of them were amusing. Seders have a plate, a Seder plate, to remind you of all the food you could be eating, but aren't. There's lettuce for a salad that isn't there. There's a bone to represent the meat that you would kill for right now. There's parsley, but it's not a garnish. It's to dip in salt water, which represents the tears of your ancestors, who thousands of years ago also said, "When can we eat?" And there's bread. Well, there's an oppression cracker, matzah, but halfway through the Seder, someone takes it and hides it. No food. And also, there's an egg to remind you of the circle of life. But some families just use an Elton John song. And because we're not able to eat, we drink several cups of wine on an empty stomach, which means, yes, your uncle will be bringing up politics. But what are we doing whilst we're not eating? We tell the story. Passover is largely celebrated by Jews and Madonna, but its symbolism has had resonance far beyond the religion. The story represents very different things to very different people at very different times. To some, it's a story about faith or liberation or self-definition, or yes, anyone who is hungry anywhere. Whether you're Jewish or not, happy Passover. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Eventually.